So I wanted to make this video as a little update as to what's going on, what's the plan for the future and all that kind of idea. So to start with, as some of you may know, I recently received my first payment for the agency, so I went ahead and got an email, and I've got an email list as well. So last night I sent 100 emails to these businesses. I had one reply come in this morning, although it is only 8:42, so you know, people probably aren't awake yet or haven't checked their emails yet, so maybe I'll get some more later on today. And I responded to that person, so we may be booking in a call as well. And then we have content is kind of the other thing I've been wanting to work on, so feel free to go over to my Instagram, have a look, see if you think if my videos have improved or not, because over the past week or so I've been trying to think about ideas more clearly, present them in a better way, and do a bit more editing as well. So I want to know if you prefer that style, if you think it's actually worse or anything like that. So let me know what you think about that. But in terms of the emails and everything like that, you know, that's what I'm trying to get started with. So I have 500 emails to be sending. I've sent 100 already, but you know, I've got 400 left to go. So when I send those, hopefully then we'll attract some interest, and sign a few people, get working with them, provide them with some great results, hopefully gain some testimonials from those and use those as case studies and all those kind of ideas. So that's the big plan in terms of everything that I'm trying to do with the agency. I did just try and run ads for an offer that I was running on like ads that I spoke about before, and that didn't go too well. I got a lead in, but then he said he didn't realize what it actually was and that kind of idea. So it was a targeting issue, so we need to fix the targeting and everything like that, but that can only come once I have more capital to put into ads, if that makes sense. So the whole, you know, ads thing, I ran it for probably 5 days or so, and that's kind of the most amount of time that I could do it. And so when I think about doing it again, I need to be more clear on the targeting, the offer and everything like that. So it's really important to note that, you know, no one's perfect, and no one does anything perfect first time. Of course you should try and get it as close to perfect as you can the first time, but it's more important to try it and then find out what doesn't work and then iterate and improve on that. Because when you just plan things for days and days and days on end and you think it's going to work, and then you know you release it and it doesn't work, you would have been better spent that time actually testing or getting customer feedback or client feedback. So that's the importance of the whole feedback loop thing, and that's what I wanted to speak about to you in this video today, because feedback is super important. Whether you're making content to gain clients, whether you're making content to document your journey like I am on this channel, you know, building a community of CEOs, founders, entrepreneurs, people that care about the future, the goals they're trying to achieve. That's the exact community I'm looking to build on here. So if that matches you and that's kind of your description, then welcome to the channel, welcome to the community. But iterating and improving is something that I never used to do probably a year ago. I'd just be doing the same thing over and over and over again, and I would never change anything. And that's probably one of the biggest lessons I've learned so far, is that if something isn't working, then stop doing it over and over and over again. Because I thought I was disciplined, which I was disciplined. I did do it loads and loads of times, the consistency and all of that. But the part I was missing was the consistency of adapting and improving. If you're consistent at doing the wrong thing, you'll always get bad results. So you have to be consistent at changing, at finding what works, and then doubling down on that. Not consistent on doing the same things over and over again that very clearly aren't working. And that's where feedback loop comes in. So if you have clients or customers, people that are already in your business and you're serving them, then fill out a form for them, or send them a form and ask them to answer a few questions based on X, Y, and Z, and that can help you with targeting in the future. It can help you with your outreach. It can even help you with your service delivery that you're doing in the moment. So feedback loops are super crucial, because it allows you to understand your ICP better, the customer, the person you're looking to work with better. And then you can use that in content if that's what you're trying to do. If you're trying to attract people organically, speaking about their pain points, speaking about their desired situation is something that they're looking for, and that's the reason why they'll go to you, because you're building trust with them, because you're showing that you understand their situation, where they're looking to get to, where they are right now, all of those things. So if you're looking to organically attract people and you're looking to post to gain clients, then that's probably the way to go for you. Find out why people chose you over anyone else. Find out why they wanted to work with you. What content piece was it that made them sign the deal, or anything like that. So have these things in place. But feedback loops in any business, it really doesn't matter. It could be a paid community, it could be, you know, a content agency, it could be a SaaS business, literally anything. Most businesses have a feedback form. You know, when you go online, they'll say, do you mind if we ask you a few quick questions, or do you mind if you answer the survey? And they do that for a reason. It's because they understand that feedback is so important, and it allows them to see any unseen things that maybe they're not seeing. Because maybe if everyone's coming up with one problem in a software, but the founders or developers haven't actually come across it yet, then they wouldn't know about it. So they do it to find out about unknown things, but they also do it to improve the customer experience, improve the things that people are seeing on a day-to-day basis, and their general experience with that app, with that business, with that service, whatever it is, right? So understanding that implementing feedback loops is really important, but only if you're going to actually use them, because you can't ask people questions, and as long as you've got a big enough data sample, if it's just one person, then maybe that's not enough to go on. But if you have, you know, anywhere from 10 to 30 data points where you can ask these people what it's like to work with you, why they chose you, you know, all of those ideas that I just mentioned, if you can say all of that and you can ask them all of that and they give you honest answers, then that's something you can leverage and something you can use in the future. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you think that your course is too expensive, or your program or your business thing, you know, your offer, anything like that. Maybe you think that's too expensive and people aren't gonna pay it. But there's two main factors that come into that. It's the ICP you're trying to attract. If you're trying to attract high wealthy individuals, then maybe it's not too expensive, right? So it depends who you're trying to attract, but it also depends on the value you give it and the value you make them perceive it as. If they perceive it as such a high value thing, something that is definitely worth their time, and that's going to get them to their desired situation, then it's probably not too expensive, as long as the desired situation is proportionate to the amount you're charging. So before you think about lowering price, or before you think about just quitting on that offer completely, ask people that did sign with that offer. Maybe you had to push them, or maybe there was a bit of a tricky sales call, but eventually you got them over the line. Ask them what it was that made them convert. And now, are they glad that they did convert, right? And whatever they say in those two questions, you can then use those for future sales calls, for future prospects, content, YouTube videos, whatever your client acquisition system is. You can then use those again, because you now understand what made them convert and exactly what you should say to get people that are thinking about it but are not quite sure to book that call with you, or to sign up to that lead magnet, or whatever, right? So thinking about being in the prospect's mind is what feedback's all about. That's kind of what it boils down to. Everyone wants to ask questions, give them forms, you know, do all of those things, not because it's just a fun thing to do, but because they understand that the key to customer satisfaction, the key to gaining more prospects, is being in their minds and understanding exactly what it is they're thinking, feeling, experiencing, and exactly where they want to get to in the future. Because everyone can say that they want to make 10k per month, but is that specific enough for your ICP? Maybe not, maybe it is. But it depends on what niche you're in, it depends on what your situation is. These are all general things that I have to give you today, because I can't niche down for you, because people watching may be in various and multiple different niches. But whenever you're thinking about, you know, charging or changing your payment method, think about the feedback you can get first, because too many people go back on themselves or change the offer long before they ever had any feedback on it, or understood what made people go over the line that have signed that offer. And so if you're still struggling to get people over the line with that offer though, that's maybe where you need to do more volume or try and attract more high intent ICP. Because if you're doing loads of volume to people that are not going to be clients or become customers, then there's no point in doing it, right? So you have to think about who it is you're outreaching to. Is it the right people, or are you attracting the right people for your program, for your high ticket course, or anything like that? But to sum the video up is, you need to have feedback systems in place, whether it's 1 day after they sign, or a month after they sign, 3 months after they sign as a client. But understanding what they found unique about you, what they liked, is important, because they are your ICP, because they converted already, right? So you need to think about, if they converted, I need to target more people like them. And what are they thinking? What are they feeling? What are they experiencing? That's how you find out, through feedback forms, through questionnaires, surveys, all that kind of idea. But that was the video. So thank you very much for watching. Remember to take it one step at a time, and I will catch you in the next one.